when
Hi, this is Kathy Mason, and I'm here today with Sharron Rose from Sacred Mysteries and also now from Quantum Chi series that I'm so excited to introduce you to her work. Sharron is a amazing author. She's a film creator. She is a force of nature in creativity, in my experience. I met Sharron when she was mostly doing Sacred Mysteries work, and now she's come out with this beautiful new project that I hope she'll share with us today. So, hi, Sharron. How are you?
Hi, Kathy. It's a pleasure, as always, to be with you.
Yes. So, Sharron, this is Conscious Business Zone. So, I would love for you to introduce yourself with understanding a little bit about the Sacred Mysteries journey before we go to the Qigong, the beautiful Qigong work you're doing. So, could you share a little bit about Sacred Mysteries? Because I see that as totally a conscious endeavor.
Well, after most of my life, I was a classical Indian dancer, modern dancer, uh, theater director, and worked with video actually from 1978.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a lot of music video, world music, lots of productions. And then I met my beloved husband, Jay Widener, 96, just as Gaiam was beginning, and he was the second person hired there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we had a dream of starting a film company together. So in 2000, we created Sacred Mysteries. He had had a background in Hollywood and writing, and mine was doing mostly music and dance, but tons and tons of video. And he had made some films. So that was our dream, to do this company. And our vision, since we both he came out of really the Western traditions of alchemy and lots of different metaphysical teachings from Egypt and France and the West. And I had been a Fulbright Senior Scholar and other grants to India, where I had lived with Sitara Devi, who was an early Bollywood star. And then since 85, I was also very deeply involved with Tibetan Buddhism, then started and Tantra, and the real Tantra. And so our dream was to create a company that would really bring forth, first of all, the concept. Our first films were about, with Alex Gray.
Right.
About his vision of the light body, and Alberto Bioldo, healing the luminous body, and myself doing yoga of light, which was for women, how to align their emotions with those of the enlightened goddesses from all different traditions. And it went on and Jay did one about secrets of alchemy. So our company really began with this vision of bringing these ancient teachings, very esoteric, to modern audiences in a way that they were really accessible and understandable. We bring in really not only the spiritual, but the scientific and the artistic tradition, symbolic, from all over the world. And so we started then in 2000. We've made over 20 films. And then we finally, in around 2012, I think it came out, we made a feature film called The Last Avatar, which really was on the same subject, and but in a narrative form. We even had our beloved Neil Donald Walsh playing the Count Saint Germain and teaching about, the luminous energy field. So my particular mission, has been in bringing these hidden dimensions, these subtle dimensions of the physical, the emotional, and the energetic and the mental bodies that are not perceived by your ordinary person, but being able to bring those to an audience in a way that they will start to perceive and understand not only what they look like and what they feel like, but how they interact with each other. So how does the mind affect, and thoughts affect the emotions, and how do the thoughts and the emotions affect the physical, and vice versa. So, and as a business, from a business perspective, I had always been, you know, a creative artist, a director and a writer, but I was the one who had dealt with managers and events and the finances. And so when we started Sacred Mystery, since Jay was really doing the editing and videography, I took on the business. And I have to tell you, QuickBooks was my savior. And for any of you artists, or for anybody that are out there that, you know, jump into this, I really appreciate all your work as well. You know, there's an artistry. When I was learning QuickBooks, I realized that there was like a mathematical aspect to it. And there's an artistry that one can bring into business. And over all the years since 2000, you know, what I've seen is that relationships are extremely important in business. I would say it's not, besides having a good product, but the way you interact with people and building community. And that's really, really what I'm working on right now with our Quantum Chi series.
Right. Well, the conscious part of what you're doing is you're sharing information so people can make better choices. And a lot of times you're bringing new awarenesses that are not being illuminated in other places, and in easy to understand bites. So it's not by seeing it in a movie or by listening to one of your interviews, or I was at a wonderful event you did up at the Star House. There's been so many ways that you have brought your knowledge of consciousness and made it usable for others. So I really appreciate that.
Well, what else is there to do except service? You know, I feel I've been very blessed to, you know, have the courage actually, you know, to go to India with my 3-year-old son, spend on and off 5 years there because I was so passionate about understanding their artistic, spiritual, musical, dance, you know, art heritage that was so profound.
Right.
And I was very fortunate to be with, you know, the highest level of artists, and they would have me go speak with ministers, and always I had the same mission in all the business work I've ever done, which is to help people learn how to communicate with each other, to find the common ground through, well, the arts are a great medium for that.
Right.
So for years, I was working in schools in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, with children and, you know, all the way up to colleges from many different cultures. And so what was the work? It was using myth and story and music and dance to bring in concepts. We could sneak them in, like meditation, visualization, you know, but most of all, to show, you know, the beauty of these cultures and the common symbols, and what is it that we're really wanting to achieve as humanity. And mostly it's about rediscovering our hearts, you know, in every aspect of life. And I'm finding now that with the insanity going on, the divisiveness, the chaos, the anger, and frustration, that my journey, which has just began a couple years ago, into the Taoist practice that came miraculously to me, has been of great benefit to me because I'm so sensitive, like many of us these days, to what's going on, and to find a system that of healing and you know, consciousness that brings the essence of it, just like the Buddhist, they're very similar, is the middle path. And what is that middle path? You know, it's to find that balance within oneself first, you know, that harmony within oneself, that place of clarity and grounded groundedness,
Right.
you know, where we can really listen to the other and open to the other and hear what they have to say. And from that place, you know, find common ground, find, you know, ways that we can move forward on this planet that are really beautiful and heartwarming and open-hearted.
And co-creative, right?
Definitely. Well, that's my great joy. I mean, I am a, you know, director, producer who loves working with others, you know, with others to bring out my real joy is bringing out the gifts of other people, working together with them.
You
I'm a
are
real collaborator on every level, in business, in art, and in life.
You are amazing at that. And let's share a little bit about the Quantum Chi project that you're working on now, because that's a perfect example of how you're illuminating these incredible masters and their work. And I see this as the possibility of bringing this knowledge to the West, just like yoga, which is now very popular everywhere. I see what your work as an opportunity to bring Qigong to the West in the same way yoga is. So could you share a little bit about your new project with us so that everyone can be as excited about it as I am?
Yeah. Quantum Chi, the Taoist art of nurturing life. It's envisioned, we'll see if it gets there, as a 12-part documentary series. Each episode will be 30 minutes long, focused on different aspects. So, for example, the first episode, which we are having preview screenings of now, really introduces the concept of what is Qi? What does Qi feel like? What is Qigong? You know, what is the Qi matrix? And how are these all tied in with the Tao? And over the last, 2.5 years, I've interviewed about 24 different teachers, masters, scholars, extraordinary human beings. I was so enlivened, having come out of dance and then craniosacral therapy and other healing modalities and film. I found that it seemed that this project at this age in my life, this stage in my life, has brought together everything I've done so far. My background with all these ancient traditions, my background with symbols, with healing, with all of this. And what I found when I began to encounter them, because it just came to me by a kind of synchronicity where I was going to interview Mantak Chia. Many know of him. He's probably the most famous Qigong teacher in the West. And I was going to interview him for another film I had started about the light body, of course. And so I went to a place, there was a seminar in Western Massachusetts called Eastover. And the owner just said, you know, I have 12 masters here, just interview everybody. And I, like the spontaneous person I said, okay, I jumped into it. Little did I know it would consume my life once I found out and experienced. So if we're getting back to, you know, the project itself, it's not only that we're going to have these 30-minute episodes, but each one will be followed by 30 minutes of instructional exercises so that you learn, like, for example, the first episode, you'll learn about how to feel Qi, how to feel it running through your body, how to gather Qi, how to bring it into your body, right? And about the field itself, the Qi matrix. Then, like the second one, which we're working on now, the second episode, The Way and the Warrior, from subtle arts to martial arts. That is how Qi and Qigong really is the foundation of all the martial arts. From, you know, we even have Bruce Lee in this, from, you know, Kung Fu, which is called Wushu, to Tai Chi, to Qigong, and then a whole section on protection, because right now we all are longing for a way to experience, you know, how to protect ourselves on a physical level, on a mental level, on an emotional level, how to maintain our chi, how to, hold on to that center in the midst of so much chaos going on. So that episode will be followed by exercises on how to do exactly that. So that's how it's seen, because for me, as an experiential type of person, a kinesthetic one, I feel it's really important that you not only understand from an intellectual point of view, but you feel it in your body, because there is nothing like direct experience.
Right.
There's nothing like it. And so, yeah. So quantum chi, also, I was very fortunate in that in the midst of it, I met a aerial drone photographer, and now I've worked with a number of them, and that uplifted the entire project. The other unique thing about this project, I remember when you saw episode 1, I loved it. You said it was like being bathed in nature. Every shot, almost, I think there's only one shot that is not in nature. Everyone is in nature, because nature is really, and the beauty of nature and the acknowledgement of nature is extremely important in the Taoist practice. So I wanted to give this experience, even just by watching when we're talking about it, an experience of being bathed in nature, to being out in nature doing these beautiful, it was really to be able to film Qigong, moving Qigong and Tai Chi and Wushu, having come from a very extensive film and dance background. That's been a major joy.
Yes. Well, when I saw episode 1, I think it's been changed since then. What I was amazed at is just the pure beauty of the whole project. The people are beautiful. The costuming is beautiful. And then you have it all, it's almost nature therapy, the way the drone footage is, and the other footage. You see someone moving, and then you realize they're on the top of a big rock, on top of a mountain. And if you would have just shot them straight on, you wouldn't have caught that they were so open. You just think they're in an open field, but they're on top of a big rock. So, I mean, the experience is quite amazing. It's quite exhilarating and quite empowering, because these arts that are not well known in the West are what, not centuries, thousands of years old.
They go back to early shamanism. They go back way back.
Really? Yeah. Well, so the origin of our species, the original humans probably knew a lot of this and knew how to connect with the earth in a different way and use the electromagnetic and the energies in the field that we can't see as part of the vital life force. And that's what I'm hoping, that people will make a conscious choice to reconnect to that by experiencing your film.
That's one of the missions of it. And that's why we have really beautiful animations. So the animation, that's a big part of it, and will be as we go deeper and deeper into episode 3 is about the chi matrix and the different energy centers. And so as we go deeper, and then we're going to go into the acupuncture meridians and the organs and how the emotions reside in the different organs and how to free that. Wonderful. So it just gets deeper and deeper. And my desire is it's not only to make it, documentary, but to make a work of art that really uplifts people. And what I love about Qigong, and I was a yoga practitioner in India and other places beginning in the 60s. So I've done a lot of yoga and alternative traditions like Feldenkrais. I find that Qigong is the most accessible and the most healing, because you're doing, yogic kind of movements at times, but you are learning what your field consists of, how to bring that energy, from the heavens and from the earth and from nature into yourself, how to protect yourself, and not only how to heal yourself, but how to project, once you understand your own field and your own energy system, how to project that to others. And what I'm finding is that a lot of yoga teachers are incorporating Qigong now.
Ah.
Yes, because it just brings a whole other, dimension. And the other thing that I found is that these teachers, masters, are the most healthy, joyous, and just giving teachers. I've met many teachers from many traditions, and actually, Qigong is also a very ancient practice for longevity, right, and immortality. So
Yeah.
I do have an episode envisioned where that is the focus at the end. Longevity and this concept of immortality, including, I've asked them their perspective on AI and Qi, right? And immortality, whether it's physical or, soul level. So that's been fascinating.
Wow. Very interesting. So, could you explain also about you being an independent filmmaker, so that they might understand a little more about this project? That you're bootstrapping it yourself,
Yeah.
creating.
Yes. When you're an indie filmmaker, you don't have a big corporation taking care of you, but then you have complete creative freedom. And that's what's beautiful about it, that I don't have to dummy it down. I don't have, people that are not creatives telling me you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. So I'm able to, as an indie filmmaker, I'm able to really bring forth a higher level of awareness of the what you call it, the intellectual perspective. I don't have to, what could I say? You can't. I know that, that from other friends that work in corporate, that their vision gets often
Commercialized.
exactly.
Yeah, and you don't. And this one is not. This one is a beautiful expression of your vision of the ultimate connection with nature and humanity.
Yeah. Thank you. And so, but on the other hand, to be indie filmmaker and do something simple that doesn't cost a lot is one thing. But to be able to do the work I'm doing right now, which involves, animation and 4K footage and all of this travel, and I even took some other jobs just to pay my editor. Now I've been building, because from the business perspective, I took on the marketing with Sacred Mysteries Distribution, which I'm president of. And so I've been doing outreach and social media for quite a while. And so in May, we began the Facebook page, facebook.com, Quantum Chi, so the Chi is QI. And we began a group, Quantum Chi Life Force Energy. And it's been so much fun. We have people, particularly the group, posting from all over the world. And that's been very exciting. And then also to enhance the outreach and knowledge of Qigong in the world, I work together with the SHIP Network, where I interviewed many of the teachers in the film, plus others who I would like to include. It was kind of their audition. And it went out to 118 countries. There were over 50,000 people in attendance. It was for 3 days, and there was only like 3 weeks of advertising. So I was very pleased with the fact that, we worked together to really bring these teachings out in this way. And so now I'm at this place where I'm doing what a lot of indies do, which is a crowdfunder.
Oh, okay.
And also putting together the package to send out to, possible distributors or sponsors. And so we're having the screenings to pretty much introduce people to the quality of what we're doing, and to see if they can find, if they resonate with this and then want to be part of the Qi revolution.
Right. Oh, this is great. And I am so glad to help support you in any way I can to get this information out, because the work is just remarkable. It could be part of the tipping point to have us change into the new energies, the new earth, the new way of being that's much more conscious and loving to ourselves. Because this is a way that you can have a practice of self-love for yourself, and then that spreads to everyone. It's because we are all one. When you work on yourself, you work on everyone. So thank you so much, Sharron. I'm excited to see the new version of episode 1 with you on Friday. And I want to encourage, I will put links with this Facebook Live video all over the place so that people can find your Facebook page. Would you like to share is there a website that they should go to as well? Or
actually, the easiest thing is to go to quantumchimovie.com.
Okay.
And then from there, you can find out, you can see right away, you can see the trailer for the crowdfunder, and you can get a real glimpse of the quality of the information and the footage itself.
Yeah.
And anybody really, this is coming from my heart, and my prayer is that it touches your heart as well, and that you feel called on any level to help me. We have some wonderful rewards, that you can get for helping us, and everything's tax deductible too. So
that's
it's
great.
interesting because I'm working with a company that supports indie filmmakers, a nonprofit called From the Heart Productions.
Perfect. How perfect. Well, and on Friday we will be showing, Friday evening in Louisville, Alfalfa's, we will be showing the premiere of the film. Sharron will be there, and Amalia will be there, who's come here from Bali. So you'll be able to meet one of the masters and Sharron in person. So I'm very excited to be a part of this new revolution in any way I can. And Sharron, thank you so much for this work. It's a masterpiece. It really is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do want to say something about Amalia.
Oh, okay.
Amalia Wai-Ching Lee. She's the creator of Infinity Quantum Healing Qigong.
Oh.
And she comes from a very long line of healers who were healers to like the courts in that area, like Malaysia. And her mother was a healer, and her grandfather. And she's not only are we going to show a preview of episode 1, but she's going to teach some. So as I said, we'll get, it's not just that we'll get to see it, but we'll get to experience it. And there's one more thing I really want to bring forth. We did a screening for college students. right, who knew nothing about this.
Uh-huh.
They were glued to the screen. Right. Then they spent 45 minutes asking me questions. But there was a Chinese girl there, right, young, beautiful, and she looked at me and she said, "You know, I'm Chinese, but in China they have taken my heritage from me. We can't learn about this." Yeah, and she was crying and she said, "Thank you for bringing it back to me."
Oh, oh my gosh. So how far we've gone the wrong way, there's still time to come back
Oh, there is
to the heart.
always, always, always time.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you so much. And again, I will put the links in the comment section so you all can participate in any way you can to support this beautiful work. First, I hope you experience and see the trailer. If you can come and see an episode as a premiere viewing, do it. You will be very glad that you did. And then, of course, we wish Sharron all the best. I know that you'll have great success with this work. It's remarkable.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Okay, so signing off today. See everybody later. Thank you so much, Sharron.
And may the chi be with you.
Thank you, and with you. Thank you. Perfect.